occur to me.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought because I think you were the one that stood most opposite her wanting to like eat this guy.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just wouldn't occur. Okay, cool.
Outside of
I
that,
still trust her not to do that. I mean,
yeah, fair. Jimmy, Callie, Emmy in the front or are you in the front?
front seat. Who's shotgun, Jimmy or Emmy?
Emmy.
All right, so Jimmy's on the other side. No problem.
I
Flanking
was
him.
kind of hoping he would sit in the front because I was gonna sit in the back and just hit the back of his seat. The whole
That's hilarious.
bum, bum, bum. Just the whole
like
way.
annoying
I'm also
little
like
kid in
helping
the
her.
airport that did it to me.
All right,
Oh,
so
I hate that.
the other thing that we did
13-hour flight.
the other thing that we did discuss, that at the end of this last episode, we off camera we talked about, are we doing humanity roles for some of you guys? That was something we did discuss.
We discussed it off camera, I believe.
Right, we discussed it off camera, and so I'm asking right now, what was the consensus? Because I can't remember.
I think it was a no, wasn't it?
I voted no.
I think it was a no as well, and I kind of agreed because the things that would have caused a humanity roll would be for Caligari killing her rat, but at the same time, I don't necessarily agree that would be something that Caligari would need to roll humanity for as
a fucking rat.
as Emmy as
Shut
Nika
the
said.
fuck up, you asshole. Tiddlywink is a special creature, and his corpse now resides in my boobs forever.
The only
I
other
picked him
thing,
up, right? I totally
Okay,
picked
maybe
him
yeah,
up.
you did.
humanity
You
roll
did.
for that.
That is true. The other thing that was in question was like Emmy and Varys maybe needs to make a humanity roll because they let what happened. But at the same time, it's weighted because this is what they were supposed to do. This is the kindred society and whatnot. So it's a tough call, but I think we ultimately landed on I'm not going to have them roll humanity for that. They didn't commit. I mean, technically they kind of did, but they didn't commit the act of murder on their sire and the like. All right, with that all sorted, let's pick up. The car is driving out of the rut, like the dirt road. Eventually hits main road, and you guys are on your way back to Mr. St. Clair's place. Does anything happen in the car with the four of you plus Raphael Pope in the passenger seat before we get to Mr. St. Clair's house?
Absolutely. Yep.
That's what I figured.
I am definitely, because what time is it? It's like 2:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's like 2:30, probably coming to 3-ish.
All right. I'm gonna say, you know what? I think we need to fucking go to Denny's or something.
What?
Denny's. It's a fucking restaurant.
Why would we go to Denny's?
You're telling me that after this shit that just went down, you're not hungry right now?
You want to go murder everybody in a Denny's and eat them?
It's a
That's
different
fucked
world,
up,
man.
I'm wicked fucking confused about your confusion right now.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, nobody else getting the stress munchies?
I mean, I'm hungry.
Cal shrugs, and she seems like, actually, yeah, she could totally, like, she's feeling angry snacky.
It's fucking Denny's. It's probably a drunk dude in the parking lot.
I'm not hungry for pancakes.
Who the fuck wants pancakes? I'm talking about eating a dude.
Let's go do it. Cal says, she's like, yeah, let's go.
Emmy's just been like super quiet, which is very rare. I mean, remember the ride here was her basically going, "Is it that one? Is it the tree?" Because they're playing.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're playing I Spy.
She's like, yeah, she's so
That's
different
right.
now.
Yeah.
She basically
Ages
hasn't
ago.
really spoken at all, and she's just like staring out the window.
Okay, Google, directions to Denny's.
So is the plan just find some homeless dude in the back alley and
Why do they have to be homeless, man?
Drunk
Why can't they just
guy.
walk into their car?
Brutal.
or just some drunk guy or some dude that's just walking? Because one person isn't going to feed three of you. It'll barely feed two of you.
That's true.
It's 2:33 a.m. at a Denny's. There's probably a group of people coming home from the club because it's Chicago, or people that are wicked stoned and just like bullshitting in the parking lot, including the employees. I'm perfectly fine with some Denny's chef that tastes like, old chicken. I'm cool with that.
Come on, that guy's working. He's having a bad night. Don't get that guy.
I'm having a bad night,
So we're saying you're looking for like kind of an outskirts Denny's, not somewhere centrally located, a little bit of a ways out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because if you go to a central one, there's definitely a cop in the parking lot, and I don't want to fuck with a cop.
Sure. So that's fine. You guys find yourself a Denny's not too far away from where you currently are once you hit the highway. And you get there, and it's, again, 3 a.m. It's not really packed all that much. It is a weekday. There's a few people in the restaurant itself, like probably like a solid 5 people, maybe like a couple way in the corner, a couple people lining the breakfast bar, and like another person. Plus, obviously, the employees themselves. It's a brisk, chilly night. You kind of step out of the car and you can feel the breeze. Luckily, none of the lights in the Denny sign are out. It seems like it's been kept up. It doesn't say like Den or Denny's or anything like that. It actually says Denny's. But there's nobody meandering in the parking lot right now. Do you want to wait? Do you want to head inside?
I'm about to give this shit 5 stars on Yelp. You know what I mean? like the sign functions at a Denny's.
That's what I'm saying.
It's better than like Ruby Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's great.
Woo! All right. Honestly, I think the easiest approach is for Emmy to just go say, "Hey, you, come here." But you know, I'm cool with whatever.
If she's up to it.
Yeah.
she's not really feeling playful right now.
No.
And maybe not hungry. She didn't exactly, like
She
call
hasn't
out.
said anything.
I mean, what
So-
is...
So I'll turn to her and just be like, "Yo, Emmy, you wanna just go, fishing? Just go grab a guy."
She doesn't even say anything. She's looking out the window and she looks at you and she shrugs.
I figured to get your mind off shit.
She just like looks back out the window.
All right,
Um,
I'll go.
Cal is not quite interested in leaving the vehicle if
Yeah.
our prey is currently right here. Like
Not
our
only that, the parking lot is relatively well lit, and you don't want to break the masquerade being a freaking Nosferatu being seen
Yeah.
by people.
But if anyone has like a to-go bag that they have, you can get them and then bring me like their pancakes. Please.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll go. I don't know if Jimmy wants to join or if it's just gonna be me rolling dice.
Go do your thing.
Okay. All right. I will go collect a person.
So, what's your plan? Are you going inside,
yeah.
Scott? Are you going to wait outside? What do you want to do?
Parking lot's definitely going to be the easiest way to do it.
Makes sense. So you're gonna wait for somebody to come stumbling out, basically, or walking out,
Or going in. Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. So we'll say you sit kind of away from one of the main lights, not at the front door, away from any of the windows where people can see you. Maybe you light a cigarette or whatever or anything just to make yourself look like you're busy. And then about the let's see, maybe like 10-15 minutes pass, and eventually somebody starts wandering out of the restaurant. Nobody pulls in, but somebody walks out. Just one person. It looks like he's a mid-50s guy, older gentleman. Starts walking his way out, and looks like kind of probably a trucker, if you were just to guess.
Oh wow. Well, he's going to have a lot of vitae. That's a good thing. A trucker, they know how to defend themselves.
And he starts walking out and just doesn't see you, doesn't pay attention, kind of starts walking into the parking lot.
You know what? Is he walking towards an actual truck, like a Mack
You
truck or
do
something
see
like
a
that in the
Mack
parking
truck
lot?
way in the back of the parking lot, in the back, kind of parked horizontally, taking.
I want to ghost and then hop into his truck.
Okay. So you want to obfuscate, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure. Make the roll.
So that's let's see, a normal sheet roll.
Nobody's looking at you as far as you can tell when you do this.
Of course. It's stealth, and I believe it's wits and obfuscate. I think it's wits.
Didn't you link a bunch of cards in Skype last week? Power cards that
Me?
you can just you in the Skype chat. I thought you linked a bunch of power cards.
Oh, I did actually. Yeah. Actually,
you
let me go
pop-
check out the Skype chat.
Pop those open and make
That's
use
funny.
of them.
I did that.
You did
I'm
do
a good,
that.
I'm a good doobie.
I mean, sometimes depends.
I'm not a terrible doobie. Obfuscate. Where are you? Oh, sorry guys. 1 second. Touch of the shadow. Nope. Where the fuck is it? Cloak of the night. Intelligence. Cool. That's worse.
Intelligence, stealth, obfuscate. Yes,
Gotcha.
correct.
Got it right here. Obfuscate and roll. No modifiers. Go.
All right.
2 successes.
That's plenty.
So because the cab of their trucks are so fucking huge,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go into like the cab of his truck and but behind his seat, like directly
Yep.
behind his seat. Do I have much time between when I get there and when he arrives? Like, how much time?
Well, when you get there, so you do that when you see him. I'm assuming come out, right? Like you see him walking out, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So you're gonna go ahead of him. You probably have like 45 seconds, maybe a minute. The door is locked to his truck, so you go to the passenger side of the driver's side, and you like pull on the handle. It's locked. So you're gonna need to make a lockpick check quickly if you want to do that.
I'll just wait until he gets close.
Okay, sure.
I'll just wait until he unlocks it.
Gotcha, no problem. So 30, 45 seconds pass. You see him walk up to the truck. He pops the lock and he starts clambering in.
Yep, I'll go in because the obfuscate helps with that shit too. So.
Yep, no problem. So what is your plan now? When you climb in, you get into the back seat without him noticing. He starts up the truck.
Creeper.
Yeah. Oh, he's starting up right away.
Yeah, he's starting up right away. He's probably not going to sleep here. There's probably a truck stop not too far where he's going to spend the night.
Okay, cool. So if he seems like he's actually going to legit start driving immediately, then I guess I'll just act first instead of doing.
Yeah, you see him put the key into his engine, and you see him start to turn it as he obviously checks everything. And you go ahead and do what you want to do. You just want to like latch on from the back and just bite him as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah, do what I do, which is eat people.
Sure. We're not going to make you roll too much. He's not going to fight back because he doesn't know you're there. Once the kiss happens, more or less, the dude becomes more or less butter in your hands. Like he might struggle a little bit at first at the surprise, but the minute your fangs sink into him, it's a euphoria for him, and he very much doesn't fight anymore. What's the plan? How much you want to drink?
I only really need to take 2, and then I'm back to the top.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at the same time, like if he's not fighting, if he's like, can I get him over to my friends and my friends over to him?
I mean, if you want to get him over to your friends, it'd probably be easier.
I'll shoot Jimmy a text.
Yeah. I'd say because you're still gonna have to drag his body across a lit parking lot, so there's risks inherently involved there. I'm
just gonna text like whatever it said on the side of the truck.
Okay.
I'm just gonna text that to Jimmy.
Who else is planning on getting a drink then? Let's just do that. Jimmy, are you getting a drink or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Emmy, are you getting a drink or are you good?
She's good.
Callie, are you getting a drink or you're good? Okay. Do you have obfuscate, Emmy? Callie? No, you're just gonna have to make a dexterity plus just stealth roll flat to make sure nobody in the restaurant sees you and make sure you do it at a time where nobody pops out.
You said it was dexterity and
stealth.
What?
Stealth.
All right. My dexterity is oh god.
Just stay
well.
in the car.
Yeah,
how low on
that's
vitae
a
are
given.
you? 1, 2, 3,
I'm
4,
okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. But you're just hungry. You're gluttonous. You want to go take care. I mean, your vice is gluttony, actually, so that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna head out with 0 successes. That's fine. You still make your way there. You don't think you were seen by anybody. That's. I mean.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And you make your way to the car, and you. I'm assuming go to the passenger side. Pop up in the door. There's a dude sitting there. I'm assuming Varys is right there, visual, just waiting. And you jump in. How much do you plan on draining from him?
As much as I can. We're not killing him, right?
That would be a bad idea. Just through vampire laws and whatnot.
He's a pretty big dude. How much do I feel like I can take?
You could probably take, in your mind, maybe 2 to 3 vitae safely after Varys had took 2.
I'm gonna do 3.
Okay, you take 3. And
yeah,
that's 5 total. Most humans have up to 7 on any normal given night. And he may be a bit bigger than most. And the 2 of you clamber on out and head back to the car.
Oh, before I clamber out, since I didn't do it beforehand, while I'm in there, I'm going to search for his gun now.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a shotgun and possibly a revolver, but I'm just going to check while I'm in here.
You're going to search? Go ahead and give me a wits plus composure check for a quick spot.
Sure. Wits and composure. And a roll.
Not that difficult of a roll, so let's see what you get. 2. You actually don't find anything. You scramble, you're looking. There's no shotgun anywhere that's easily seen. You don't see a pistol anywhere doing a quick search. If you want to spend more time, you can. But just a quick, flipping down some things, popping open the glove box and stuff, you don't see anything.
Okay, but there is the shotgun?
No, there is no shotgun. He has no shotgun.
I thought you said there was a shotgun.
No, I said there's
no.
No
Gotcha.
shotgun.
I'm genuinely surprised by this, but then just shrug and hop out of the truck and start heading over. But now I'm going to talk to Callie on the way back over.
Sure.
I'm going to be like, so was this the condition we're supposed to bring this guy back in?
Cal thinks about it for a bit. And then she says, they didn't specify.
Should we feed the thing?
It's already fed. It ate your friend.
You don't need to give me the details. We were all there. I mean, he's barely alive.
What? That's not our problem, is it? We gave him a box, and he committed, what is that called?
Diablerie.
He was like he just killed another vampire. Again, not our problem, no matter how dead he is.
But
Let's just get him out of here. Let's get him out of here.
It becomes our problem if shit goes sideways when we're heading back. Like, do you think it's going to be a smooth ride back? I just feel like this whole shit's a setup. I just feel
maybe. But he's really fucked up right now, and there's 4 of us. Calm down, Emmy, please. She's freaking me out. And then she just walks back to the car.
Also, this is like a new meaning to box wine.
Funny. Did the guy have his to-go bag or no?
No, he didn't bring out any to-go food.
Damn it!
He ate it all. He polished that plate off.
Could I grab a bag out of the trash bin? Just to... No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let's keep going.
That's more
Hey, she
Callie's
eat it.
thing.
Callie
Wants to go dumpster diving. That's her choice.
It would have been for her
Time.
if she asked for it.
No, I've got time, and I'm pretty full up on that one guy. Like, I'm doing okay right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dumpsters in the world. I can go to any of them once we get our fucking shit done.
So Callie and Varys make their way back. Callie climbers back in. Varys, opens the door, the little creak of the door of Jimmy's old ass car. And as Varys climbs in and shuts it, and you hit the road again, heading back to Mr. St. Clair's house. Anything else happen on the car ride?
Jimmy's definitely gonna text Moonbow. And
What do you
just be
text
like,
him?
Yeah, Lionel is super dead. He got eaten by this other vampire.
Okay. No problem.
I might put on One Direction to try to cheer up Emmy.
Does Emmy love
Is that
One
Why
Direction?
still a
would
group?
I cheer up Emmy?
She's a little girl. I just assume she likes One Direction.
Emmy's like, when you get back in the car, she has her like sheep and she's just like pretending to sleep on it.
Oh, that's adorable. Still creepy, but also adorable. Okay,
Quiet
so Jimmy sends off the
Quiet.
text during the drive. And does any other conversation happen in the car between the 4 of you, or the 4 of you plus Raphael? Or you guys just stay silent the whole time? Outside of maybe just normal.
I put my arm around the back of the seat where our dude is, just so like he can get my stench and other just to scare the shit out of him consistently.
No problem.
I'm here to freak him out.
Sure. So the drive. Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy's gonna start explaining shit.
Okay, sure. What do you
That's a good
explain to
idea.
him?
So this is an automobile.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh my god! Right. This is a Denny's. This is where we eat.
Get some food.
The whole ride, he's actually just completely wide-eyed and like you can't tell if it's enamored or confused or just completely nothing going on up there. But he doesn't say nigh a word to any of you. His eyes dart back and forth. Yes.
Can I use my aura perception on him?
You absolutely can.
All right. So this is my intelligence plus empathy plus aspects versus their composure.
Yep. He will get a roll. I just want to get the
Intelligence, aspects, and empathy.
Okay.
And I don't have any modifiers. 4 successes.
Okay, cool. So obviously all the auras you see off of him are pale, indicative of a vampire. You see on him the colors of orange, a strong orange, where's the other one I'm looking for?
So he's really scared.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Silver. And then, while those two stick out to you the most, the other colors are shifting and ever changing, which on the list obviously does mean something. But they're a little bit of something pops up, and then another color tends to overtake it, and it
Is
swirls.
it sharp or like
Mottled.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
So-
kind of confused.
Yeah, exactly. And you only get those 3 off of him.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you see. And all of it, obviously, like I said, it is slightly pale. But that's his mood.
All right. I have the same mood.
Yeah, all right. Makes sense. Okay. So the drive
Not
goes...
afraid, though.
The drive goes relatively safely. No, there's not a lot of traffic going on right now at about 3 a.m. Conversation is not, like I said, nil. And Jimmy, you don't actually get a response that night, at least during the drive, before eventually you come up to Mr. St. Clair's place. Actually, as you're driving up the street of Mr. St. Clair's, you see a couple of people standing outside the building of Mr. St. Clair's place. They don't look like they're hiding in any way. They're very just on the sidewalk. They seem to be chatting with one another. As you get a little closer, they're finely dressed, as most have been in Mr. St. Clair's place. They're 2 gentlemen, probably in their 30s. But details outside of that, unless Emmy puts on some heightened senses stuff, you can't really tell too much else.
Sure. I'll put heightened senses, vision.
Vision, sure. So again, you get some really fine details on these guys. You kind of dull out the sounds around you, and you focus your eyes dead ahead as you see these 2 people. They both have a pistol by their side that you can see. They're not holding it. They have it by their side. Like I said, mid-30s. They both have rather clean, short haircuts, finely shaved faces. They look very, very, very nice.
Are they talking?
They are chatting with one another. You can see them, their mouths moving.
Senses,
Are they Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons?
listening.
That is a good question.
For hearing.
Sure. So as you have to get a visual on them, and does anybody say slow down, or do you care? Are you just gonna kind of head down the road? Yeah, that's fine. So your vision goes blurry. In fact, it becomes worse than it normally is. Still better than a human's, but worse than you're used to as a vampire at this point. And you just hear light chatter. It's actually like insignificant conversation of just talking to each other about their nights and what they've been doing and how is this person, how is that person. It's stuff that is not important, nor does Emmy think is important whatsoever. It's like eavesdropping on a couple people behind you in a restaurant.
Okay.
Okay, so you drive up. As the car gets close, the 2 of them stop chatting, and they see the car, and one of them waves you to park in front of them. Does Varys do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pull up.
Right in front of the person. So
Yep.
do they look familiar at all?
No, they do not look familiar whatsoever.
As I'm doing so, I'm going to do so slower than what would I suppose. Like I'm going to slow down early,
Sure.
and kind of like creep into the spot.
Yep.
I'm going to half look to Emmy and say, "You see anything about this guy?" Like I don't know that she's enhanced her senses. I just know that she does.
Can
so
I
I can ask her.
do my aura perception on them both?
You may. Also, as chat pointed out, I should have mentioned, you do see in his aura, by the way, black tendrils all in his aura, which indicates the act of diablerie was committed.
Okay.
So, I apologize. I completely forgot about that.
Does that even have an option on there?
I think it does. Diablerist, black veins in the aura. So he has like black veins just creep across
black
all
veins.
of his aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. So you're gonna do.
Do you have to roll twice?
Well, you roll it once, and then you roll every time you focus on somebody. You can only focus on one person at a time with the power. So you pick
So I roll
somebody,
twice.
and
So
yeah,
once
you will
for
need to
the
roll
one.
once, and then roll again on the other person. That is
Okay,
correct.
once
And
for one, so 2 successes on the first guy.
and it's versus their resolution
One
or
success.
resolve.
This is against their composure.
Composure. Got it. I apologize.
I think that's what it said.
So you got 2
Yeah.
successes and 1 success.
Composure.
Looking at the first person, you actually do pick up auras. The second person, you can't get anything solid off of them.
Okay.
But with the second person, the first person, you get a light blue aura and a lavender aura, and they're not dimmed whatsoever. Meaning mortals or what have you.
Emmy just turns to him and says, They seem fine.
Okay, I'll just like half nod or whatever, and then pull up into exactly where he's directing.
Okay. So you pull up, no problem, right on the side of the road, and then before you can even do anything, the one gentleman pulls open the side door, the shotgun side door, and then the other one pulls out the one the other side, where Callie is, and just pops open the door. And they don't say anything. They just
how in what manner, if you were to give this an adverb or an adjective of how
in
they
a
pop open
in
the
a
door.
in a gentlemanly manner.
Gentle professional. Okay,
Yes,
great.
correct. Very professional.
All right. I lurch outwards as though this is my red fucking carpet. Like, bam! I'm enjoying it now.
No problem. And as you they smile and nod at you as you step out of the car, but the minute Raphael Pope steps out of the car, the two of them quickly flank him, put their arms around him, and start ushering him inside. They don't say a word to you. They just kind of put their arms around him like, Mr. Pope, we've been expecting you. And then they kind of like get one on each side, start making their way inside.
When I get out, I do take my sword out and put it where I usually hold it.
Sure.
But it's not obfuscated or anything like that.
Okay. No problem.
I hop out of the car and then I follow.
Okay. No problem. Does the four of you just kind of head in after they take him inside? I assume that's
Yeah,
yes.
I definitely
Sure.
follow.
Yeah, I'm pulling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so the
Like-
four of you will head inside, and as you get into the front door, usually the room that you guys go into is to your right-hand side. That door is open and empty as it normally is. However, in the hallway that you walk into, the two that take him, they take him down the hallway past two more guys that stand in the hallway. They let them pass, and they stand close to each other as if to not let the two of you pass, and one just kind of gestures to the room that you usually go into. The study.
I go.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm just kind of following them.
Cal,
I don't think
Cal-
anybody.
Cal goes in.
I don't think anybody's kind of going off course here.
Okay, that's.
Do we
basi-
see where St. Clair is?
No, not yet. There's you go into the room, and as it is most times, you head in, and again that fine layer of dust that covers everything, books that line the wall, decanters full of alcohol of varying ages. But as always, it's empty right now. Nobody's in here but the four of you, and the four of you are sat in there for a while. Now, if you guys don't talk to one another or have any conversations, or I don't know if you guys want to be like, okay, what are we gonna do if blah blah blah. But if you don't do anything, we can fast forward.
Is Pope with us?
No, Pope was taken away by the two guys on each side, and then Mr.
I
Pope.
would like to follow them.
Maybe I apologize. Maybe I didn't make it totally clear. So when you head into the building, the
Yeah.
two guys take Pope down the hallway past two other guys that let them pass, but as soon as Pope and those two guys go by, they step next to each other and don't let the four of you pass, and they gesture to the study.
I would like to sneak past.
Okay, what's your plan? Hit me with your plan.
Oh God.
I don't know.
So
Stealth
the
pass
four.
somehow.
Well, you can't make yourself invisible. You don't have obfuscate.
I have stealth though.
You do have stealth.
I
We
have
know there's a building though. We know the building. Is there a way that she can go like through a side door, out a
You have-
window,
the-
and like James Bond?
The
this
four
shit?
of you have never gone
Are
beyond
the
this
two
room in
guards,
this building.
Are the two guards vampires?
You don't know. You didn't aura check them. You have no
Can I
idea.
aura check them?
If you would like, you're more than welcome
Yeah,
to.
I'd like to do that.
So I'm assuming you walk in, and as always, your eyes maybe haze over for a moment as you start focusing on them.
Okay,
That's one.
2. So 2 successes and 1 success.
Okay. Much like last time, you get an aura on the first one that you look at, but the second one is, for whatever reason, not something you can get a handle on. And the aura you see on the first gentleman, I apologize, is the color of...
Is it pale at all?
It is not pale.
Ha.
You get one aura off of him, and it's light blue.
Okay.
So like I said, they kind of gesture for you to head in the study. Do you tell anybody? Do you plan on just like trying to leave the room? What's the plan if you were going to try and stealth by them?
Actually, fuck. I just don't think I'll roll very well. I can use willpower, right?
Yep, you're always welcome to use willpower.
I might use that. Because command is only one word, or can I say like...
Then command is supposed to be just like one one command.
I can't be like, let me pass. Or let us
Let's
pass.
double check because it should say it right in the power. No. Command.
I mean, you can say something like allow or ignore or something that seems
A single one-word command that must be obeyed instantly. The order must be clear and straightforward. Freeze, jump, run, stop, fall, cough, blink, blah, blah, blah. So that is what command it does.
there's an opportunity here. I bet you could still do it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right word. Like, what word can I use to say, like, let us through?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, just like ignore.
Well, I guess I'll roll and we'll see how it goes.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of one word that kind of
Intelligence.
Or just
Move.
forget.
Move.
Yeah.
Move.
Oh yeah, move.
But move isn't necessarily allow though. It just implies.
They could shimmy. I mean, they could do pretty much anything. But that depends on if you can even if they. It's one person, so you're saying it to one person, not two. You lock eyes with one of them and give them a command, so the other
Yeah.
person won't be affected. Keep that in
Attack
mind.
the other guy.
This is not very useful.
It's the
if I
first.
can't-
It's the first dot in the first. It's like later on. That's when command starts getting
Yeah.
like forgetful mind. Later on, that's like the shit
Oh
that
well,
you
that's
want.
just like you can wipe people's minds. That is
Conditioning, mesmerize. Like again, it's the one for. It's you're a childer. You're a brand new vampire.
Yeah.
You're not going to be super powerful right out the gate. That's just how it works.
Um,
And again,
Leave to send them away or permit, which is Frank's suggestion.
Permit. I like the
Yeah.
word permit. I think that's good. Okay, so intelligence plus intimidation plus dominate.
and it's a
Actually,
which
they
one? The guy on the
resolve.
left or the guy on the right?
Since I know the one on the left is not a vampire. On
Yes,
him.
that is correct.
So intelligence, intimidate, dominate versus his resolve and blood fluency.
Mhm.
Intimidate and dominate. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and then how does willpower work if I want to spend a willpower?
You add 3d10 to whatever roll you're making.
Oh. Okay, so I just do 1x on it.
Yep, 1x, and that means that willpower is no longer there.
How can I get it back?
Those come through like virtues and vices, more or less, of being played up and affecting the game, that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I modifier. I do 3d.
Yep, add 3d10
Six?
to your roll.
Oh, 3d10.
3d10. Yep.
I don't know if that rolled properly.
I don't see anything yet.
Did it not do it?
I don't see it. Does anybody else see it?
Last one I saw was the intelligence empathy aspects. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
I just rolled again.
All right, so then you add. Then you just add.
That's not. That doesn't have the
Just add 3d10 to that, and you're
10.
good to go.
Yeah. 9.
So I look at each individual number, and none of them are successes. So you had 0
What?
successes plus 0 successes on the
Such
3d10.
bullshit.
Yeah, that's
What
unfortunate.
is that probability? That's so
Low,
bullshit.
because you rolled a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You rolled 7d10, and none of them came up with a successful roll.
That's a lot of d10s.
That is a lot of d10s, and so what do you say? You step out of the. So
Having a rough day today. This is not my day.
it's fine. So what
I
you
say
do?
permit.
You say permit. So you guys go into the study, and then Emmy just kind of spins on her heels and just goes right back out of the study, looks at the one that she's read the aura for, looks with the meanest face she can, makes eye contact. The guy looks down at you, and you just say, permit! And then he looks at you and says, no. And then gestures back to the study.
Oh, fudge knuckles.
So, does anybody say anything when they see that? Emmy goes in, spins out. It's... Do you just kind of like shrug and be like, oh, well, whatever?
Is there another way to get back there other than to
Not that
passing?
you know. But again, you've really never been beyond the study before. You haven't seen...
Does St. Clair always come in through the same door that we come in through?
No, he comes through another door that is the back of the room.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he never comes in through that door. There's 2 doors in. The one you come in and the one he comes in.
I'm totally checking the door
Sure, it's locked.
that he usually comes in. Okay.
Yeah, it's locked.
I don't like any of this.
I'm totally cool.
Can I not
I'm-
just walk past anyway?
They won't let you.
Like, what are they gonna do?
Get in your
Attack
way.
Okay, I'll bite them.
Is that what you want to do?
I mean, they can't just like walk away. What the fuck?
So if she continues like trying to be whatever, like however it is that she's playing out,
Aggressive.
like, Emmy, come here. Don't forget what he told us. Well, he told me, but you were there.
She looks at you questioningly. Like,
The
what?
only way to get by in this society is to follow their rules. Just come on.
Sounds like Amelia needs a nap. She's cranky. Oh my god. I guess yeah. She just I guess throws a little tantrum and makes her way back and
No
like
problem.
sits in the chair like with their arms crossed.
I'll put like a fatherly like hand on like her head or shoulder,
Yeah.
whatever is appropriate.
A comforting
And,
hand, sure.
Yeah, until she like makes her way over. It's like when she heads towards the chair, I'll go over to that same spot on the wall amongst the books that I always fucking lean
Yep.
against.
I'm assuming
That's the spot.
the two of you.
There's never dust there.
Yeah, of course, because that's where your like weird silhouette is. Callie, what are you doing? Are you just kind of relaxing at the table,
I'm looking. I'm like swapping out my books, like library.
like
books.
you do every time? Yep. Okay,
yeah,
no problem.
Like,
You find what's
like,
interesting.
I got to read a little bit of this one. I'll put this one back. Okay.
Awesome. And Jimmy, do you just sitting down, just kind of hanging out, cell phone in hand, or just?
No, I think Jimmy's like he's very impatient. He's leaning on the table. He's tapping his fingers on it, just staring at that back door, waiting for St. Clair to
Sure.
come through it.
Usually St. Clair is in the room within 5 minutes of you guys arriving anyway. So you guys are, you kind of waiting. And eventually those 5 minutes pass and he hasn't shown up yet. Another 5 minutes
Right.
pass, hasn't shown up yet. A solid 30 minutes eventually go by. Maybe more, maybe less. Maybe some of you have been not keeping track of time. Before you actually hear some footsteps on the other side of the door that's Mr. St. Clair usually comes through. You hear a deadbolt come down. You hear the door unlock and the door opens. And in the doorway stands Mr. St. Clair in an absolutely fine suit, as he always is. With a smile on his face, he walks in, waves very quickly at you. Yep, waves at Callie, absolutely. Turns, shuts the door, locks it from this side, and spins around in a way that shows boundless energy. And he smiles and he goes, "Well, I'll be damned. More than I already am. You did it. The four of you did it. I am impressed. Please." And he gestures to seat, and then he goes and turns his back to you while he gets some liquor and stuff from the decanters, and he's mixing himself a drink. And he says over his shoulder, as you hear the clanging of the glass and the liquor pouring, tell me what happened."
That was fucked up.
He just says and like nods as he's shaking something, like alcohol.
No, you fucking tell us, okay? Like, I know that you're swearing thing, and you know just you talk. You.
Well, he continues making his drink and pours it out. Turns, sees any of you sitting when he asks you to sit.
I'm always my same spot.
Yeah, you're in your same spot.
was
Callie's
already
not simming. Emmy, you're sitting?
Emmy was already sitting.
Yeah,
Okay,
she sat
cool.
with me.
And Jimmy, you said you stay? Are you still being impatient? Anybody else sitting?
She's just like cross-armed and
Sure.
very upset and pouty.
All right. Well, he turns around, sees that only Emmy is sitting, as far as I know. Kind of like makes like a slight shrug as he smells the drink he poured. Says, all right. I guess I owe you that. What questions do you have?
So, presumably this was a voluntary decision on Lionel's part.
Presumably. And he takes a sip.
That's not talking.
That's literally the opposite of an answer.
And you're still brand new. What other questions do you have? It was Lionel. Whether it was dessert, whether it was optional or not, it was what he had coming.
Okay.
Then elaborate on that shit.
Does the prince know about this?
And Prince knows everything.
Like, I'm just gonna kind of lower my eyebrows at him.
Sure. He kind of looks to you and just gives a slight nod and takes a sip.
Who is this guy? This Pope guy?
Someone from...
What's so fucking important about him?
More than you know, at least for now. Maybe.
Yeah, because you haven't fucking answered the question.
Because it's no
You
question.
can tell me and I'll know.
Because it's not a question you need answers to. Not
It's
yet.
bullshit.
Is Pope Sanctum or Ordo Dracul?
Good question. Sips.
I don't care about Pope. I don't care about Pope. I'm not going to ask those questions. That's between you and them. Lionel had it coming to him one way or the other. Explain.
No. And then his smirk kind of drops at that.
Explain to us why it was that we had to. I don't need to explain this to you. You know why we care. Explain to us why.
Because it was necessary.
Then we're not your errand boys anymore.
That's fine. Your payment will be due, and all things promised will be given to you. Your bank accounts will have the money wired to them by tomorrow night, without question. I sincerely appreciate everything you've done for us here. Again, I am genuinely and happily surprised that the four of you were able to do it. Not only that, but the four of you came back alive. So thank you. Thank you. You'll never know the great deeds you did for Kindred Society here in Chicago this night.
Apparently not.
Can I read his aura?
You are absolutely welcome to try.
Probably going to be really hard.
That's fine. You're welcome to try. It's not something that, like, you do and then he's like, oh, how dare you. I don't think that's how it works. You are absolutely welcome to get an aura read off of him. I really need to stop shutting this when I need auras. Okay, cool.
Empathy. Aspects. I still can't believe I wasted all that willpower.
Okay.
One success.
Well, you get one aura off of him, surprisingly. I am not gonna lie, I am surprised that you were able to pull that off, but I rolled horribly, and that's all that matters. Okay, so again, you get one aura off of him. And I'm looking for the right one, the right word here. But none of these look like I'm the one word I'm looking for here.
What's the word you're looking for?
You know what? This will have to do. Dark blue.
Dark blue.
A pale dark blue.
Really?
Correct.
That's so odd.
But you can wait to tell them
You
like
at
before.
home don't know what dark blue is.
Oh, so dark, yeah, dark blue for those who are at home.
Suspicious.
Yeah, it means the suspicious.
So don't metagame players because you don't know. But
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking weird, isn't it? That is
Yeah.
a really good one.
yeah.
Cal once again kind of walks over to St. Clair
Mhm.
and once again brings up the idea of like, so do you know anything about reanimating arms and making them your friends?
As you actually hold that arm up, parts of the
Yeah.
skin start dusting off of it.
Yeah,
And
I need this.
He shakes his head. Same answer as last time, my dear Caligari. Not my
Oh,
forte.
Fuck! She hits him with it.
He oddly takes it in play, but does step away after like
Yeah,
the first
he doesn't.
bonk.
She doesn't like fucking slam him.
Yeah,
with
no,
it.
he like after you
Kinda
bop
like-
him like once, he kind of steps back and kind of has like a
There's
a
some
smile.
dust on him and stuff. He's like,
Yeah,
"Ugh."
and he dusts himself off, and so he again addressing the four of you says again, you're going to be paid by tomorrow night. Everything that is owed will be paid as proper and as promised. And if you have any questions that I can give you, I guess straight answers for, you're welcome to. But certain things, yes.
How old is Pope?
Pope. How old is Pope? Pope is outside of the 300 or so years he's been in torpor. As far as I know, he's at least a couple hundred.
Who is Judas?
The biblical figure?
Yeah.
Somebody who betrayed Jesus. And he says that with the smirk returns to his face.
She goes, who is this Judas?
My dear Caligari, I have no idea
All right,
what you're
she
talking
sprinkles some of the stained glass onto the floor in front of her, so like he kind of gets the point.
about. Yeah. He looks down at that and he looks back up to you and he goes, again, my dear Caligari, I have no idea what you're talking about. But, and he reaches down and starts picking up the pieces. I'll make sure to look into it for you.
All right.
Well, if that's all the four of you have for me this night, I wish you luck. And as you said, you no longer wish to be errand boys and girls. And I got sick of that real quick when I was a young childer as well. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have any need for me or whatsoever, you know how to contact me. It'll be no problem.
The question is simple. Elaborate.
On what? Lionel?
Whatever you can give us, whatever table scraps you can throw at the floor, I'm sitting idly by, salivating.
He actually takes a deep breath at that, and he looks to you, and he says, and the fact that you're sitting there salivating at all is something you should consider a gift. And then he turns his back to you, and with a flourish, as he's very flamboyant as he's always been, and makes his way to the door as his exit. Turns the handle, looks back. Yeah.
Before he can go, Emmy actually gets up on top of the table, walks to the edge of it, sits down, and puts her hands on the sides, and she's like,
So you didn't really answer any of our questions. Why are you so suspicious?
He looks to you, narrows his eyes a little bit, and says, because you're but children in a city that's been around for millennia. Shrugs and walks out the door.
If you didn't think we could do it, why did you tell us to do it?
As he's about to shut the door, he says, it's not about me thinking that you couldn't do it. It's just a task this great given to the four of you, only a few months of age. It was a gamble. And then he shuts the door.
She takes extra books now. She's like, I'm taking this one too. You know what? I was going to be nice about it. Not going to be nice anymore. Taking 3 extras.
Okay. Yeah, nobody's there to stop you. The four of you are left alone in this room. It's about 4 a.m. Sun will be up in like an hour or two.
Emmy jumps off the side of the table.
Yeah.
Grabs her stuff. Looks at Varys and says,
I want to go home.
You're not hungry?
She shrugs.
You want to go downtown, find some perverts and kill them?
Okay.
Okay.
And with that, as the four of you are walking out the study, we'll fade to black and go to our very first break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes.